Did Bungie steal from its player base? Over the last few years, there's been some hoopla over the sunsetting or vaulting of previous content. Today, we're going to discuss what the game is currently missing and whether this is really theft. Mellow greetings everyone, I'm Splinter, and this will be the third consecutive Destiny-related video. We're wrapping up a 3-part series discussing one of Bungie's more controversial decisions related to the Destiny franchise. You see, depending on when you started playing, Destiny 2 may look a lot different than it did in 2017 when it was first released. Allow me to paint a picture for you. It's Destiny 2 launch day in September of 2017 and you fire up D2 for the first time. You're immediately treated to multiple cutscenes explaining the Destiny franchise up to that point and priming the game's base campaign. The game opens with Ikora talking about satellite feeds having gone offline. Zavala looks out the window of the tower and notices that amidst the storm, the city has come under attack from the Cabal. This is where you and your ghost are returning from a mission and you receive a distress signal from the tower. Arriving at the tower, you and your ghost arrive to just sheer chaos and destruction. Cabal are dropping in everywhere. The tower's in ruins and everyone is evacuating. You run to help Zavala while killing Cabal everywhere, and make your way to a command ship to meet Gull, the Red Legion commander, who ultimately activates a light suppressing cage around the Traveler, runs his mouth, and boom, title card. Now, for those of you that weren't here for launch day, you might be confused as you don't remember this happening. And that's because the entirety of the Red Board campaign has been removed from the game and replaced with the current New Light experience. Starting with Year 4, this was part of a much larger initiative within the Destiny 2 sandbox called the Destiny Content Vault. Whereas each year, old content would be cycled out of the game, presumably to help keep install sizes down and improve efficiency. There was an added note that some older content would be reworked for the current game and eventually re-released. However, nothing has yet returned other than 2 reprised raids and a couple of strikes from Destiny 1. But let's still discuss what's been removed. From Year 1, we've got the Red War campaign, all adventures, which were essentially repeating missions on the various planets, all Leviathan-based raids and raid lairs, in addition to the Curse of Osiris and Warmind DLCs. Year 2 was Forsaken, and all that remains of it are the Dreaming City, Last Wish raid, and Garden of Salvation raid. All related story content for Forsaken has been removed, which is sad because this was the year we lost Cayde, and it's still arguably one of the most emotional moments in the Destiny franchise. There was also the planting of the seeds of the Crow, who was formerly known as Prince Aldrin. All Season of the Forge content has been removed, and all Black Armory content. Sadly, the weapons too have been sunset. Rest in peace, Blast Furnace. Starting with the launch of Beyond Light, we lost access to Titan, Mercury, and the original zone for Mars, which were in the Braytech Futurescape. So all in all, I'd say about a quarter of the total content produced exclusively for Destiny 2 has been pulled at this point. And naturally, the Destiny community did not appreciate this, with several accusations of theft. Now, I wasn't originally going to speak on this as content vaulting has been discussed constantly, but I was recently going through some forums, a couple Facebook posts, and even some posts on Reddit. And there's still a lot of people screaming theft. But looking at the limited software license agreement, which was last updated somewhere towards the end of 2020, it does state in highly technical terms that Bungie can remove any content they wish at any time they choose, but it does offer the caveat that they will make good faith attempts to communicate the removal ahead of time. So has Bungie stolen from us? Legally, no, they haven't. Destiny 2 is a live service game. And as a matter of fact, in my opinion, it's essentially the live service game at this point. So ultimately, from a legality standpoint, Bungie seems to be in the clear. But morality, that's complicated. Are they within their right to vault and sunset content? Yeah, absolutely. But the community perspective is that if they've paid for content, it shouldn't be removed. As an example, I bought Curse of Osiris, Warmind, and Forsaken, all of which came to about $80 worth of content. and it's now no longer available to me. Am I upset over it? Yeah, a little, but only over the sunsetting of Blast Furnace. I really love that gun. As for the other content, honestly, once we hit Shadowkeep, I personally didn't really touch anything related all that much. And the content that's still in the game from that era, Last Wish, Garden of Salvation, and Pit of Heresy, they're all some of my least favorite activities. So for me at least, yeah, I've lost access to that content, but I really wasn't playing it. I can't honestly expect Bungie to retain content that isn't played that much, and the truth of the matter is the vaulted content did have some of the least engagement compared to the newer releases. With that said, I can personally understand why there's so much vitriol over the removal of vault content, but I must share some additional information with a little bit of a silver lining to it. As of the most recent Bungie showcase on August 23rd of 2022, they have said that vaulting will not continue, meaning that as new content is added to the game, for the exception of limited time content like seasonal activities, vaulting is done. So at the end of the day, it seems like Bungie has realized how controversial of a decision the DCV was and is currently working to make it right. But only time will tell if they go back on that decision, because let's be honest, Bungie has been hit or miss over the last 7 years when it comes to making good calls. So let's see how the next couple of years go. Until then, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm Splinter. The end.